Okay. And we're back.
And we're back. Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Okay, Lay, so you want to shout out our moms, right?
I do. I feel like, oh, they're so cute.
Yeah, we're lucky. We got good
We're
mommies.
such like if there was one soundtrack to my mom and I's relationship, it would be like Mama from Spice Girls.
I use that song on Mother's Day.
I know.
That and Tupac.
And Tupac. Oh yeah. What was that
Yeah.
one song?
Dear Mama.
Yeah, that was a good one.
But those are like my two
Yeah.
jams when I'm
Yeah.
doing Mother's Day stuff on
Yeah.
Instagram. That's
Yeah.
so funny.
I feel like we talked about, well, I mean, there's more to this episode, but I
Yeah.
feel like we need to shout out our moms first before, because they're the real MVPs.
Yeah.
Like my mom's my best friend.
Well,
Like
that was
my mommy's my best
but that
friend.
was the one thing we had in common from the jump was
Yeah.
both of us are
That's why I knew I
literally
liked
best
you, because
friends
you're like,
with our
my mom's my
mom.
best friend. Yeah.
I know, and it's rare, I think.
It is super rare, and actually it really breaks my heart when like there's people that have like mommy issues. Like
Yeah.
daddy issues, like I get it,
Yeah.
but like mommy issues makes me really, really sad.
No, I agree.
Like breaks my heart.
Yeah, and I know we've talked about this. We were close with our moms like our entire life.
Yeah, my whole life. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like you go through your teenage years and you're like, mom, like you don't
Okay,
get
yeah,
it,
for
you
sure.
know? But like,
But I still wanted my mom around, and my mom and I still went shopping and
oh
hung
yeah,
out in high
yeah, yeah.
school.
Especially when my parents split, it was like me, my mom, and my sister,
Same.
and it was like the three amigos, and we had
Yeah.
like the best time. And when we look back on it, we're like, remember when it was just us three?
So we had a dog named Charlie, and so
Mhm.
we were Charlie's Angels.
Oh, that's so
So
cute.
you were the three amigos, we were the Charlie's
Yeah,
Angels.
that's so cute. No,
Yeah.
I just feel like my mom is so central to my life.
Same. Ditto.
Are we gonna cry?
You know, I don't cry.
I cry a lot.
I know you're a crier. I'm not. I have the black heart. It's a drought over here.
I could cry at the drop of a hat. Aww.
But
So I
like,
saw this thing though that was like so cute. Actually, it wasn't cute. It actually like made me sad. But like, don't get. But it was cute at the same time because like it's just like your perspective. Like you see your mom and you're just like, that's my mom.
yeah.
But like she's literally just a girl trying to figure it out too.
Listen, moms are just trying to do their best, and sometimes they don't know what they're
But like
doing.
she's living life for the first time.
Totally. I couldn't agree more.
You know? Like
Yep.
if you look at it like that.
Yeah, totally different
like,
perspective.
Yeah.
Because when you're young, you're like, your mom is your hero.
Yeah.
And you think they know everything, and they don't.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just making the best decision at the time with the knowledge that they have,
Yeah.
hoping it works out. And
Yeah.
sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
And it's like,
they're just doing their best.
right. And we're hard. I think like in society in general, like we're hard on moms.
Oh, 100%.
I think it's different than the weight that a father
For
holds.
sure.
Like
For
I
sure.
just feel like there's a different weight on moms and a different pressure on moms.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think we should definitely take a minute, not only to shout out our moms, but like all moms. You said it earlier, we've done an episode on daddy issues.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll do like a separate episode for our moms down the road.
Yeah.
Maybe we can time it with something.
We should have them on the show.
Oh, no.
That would be so cute.
That would be cute, but my mother has no filter.
I know, that's the point. That's why I love her.
Okay.
And my mom's kind of the same too.
Uh-oh.
My mom has like, I think like a little bit of a shell. But once she's like comfy, then like she's fine.
Is she like you?
We're similar.
Yeah?
Yeah, we're similar.
You guys look
She's
alike,
funny.
so.
I know, we're twins.
I know.
Every time like
Everyone
we go
knows.
anywhere.
It's like everyone's like, that's your mom. Like, that's my mom.
People would stop me on the street and be like, you have to be Rose's daughter.
Right.
I'm like, yeah.
That's a nice compliment, though.
I know.
Little mini me.
I know. I showed Matt a picture of my parents before this episode started, and she was like, oh my God.
Yeah, because your mom was my age in the picture, and she was fine.
Yeah, she was fine. She is fine.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I was going to say something quickly, and now I forget where I was going to go with that. Oh, if I was ever a mom, I wanted a mini me. I said, that's cute. Like, that's a mini me.
I've only ever pictured myself with a girl. Like, ever. Like, honestly.
And I wanted a boy.
Yeah. I can see that.
Interesting.
Yeah. I can see you, like, as a boy mom. I just, like, can't.
Because you call me a bro, so.
No, but I can't, like, picture. Like, I could picture me with a girl, but, like, I mean, with a boy, but obviously it doesn't really matter, obviously.
No, at the end of the
But
day.
at the end of the day, but every time I've pictured myself, like even growing up, like every time I don't know if that's because I'm a girl. Like,
I don't know. My sister always wanted a girl too. I always wanted a
yeah,
boy.
yeah, I don't know. But
And I don't know why. Like I wanted to raise a really good boy, like for society purposes,
yeah,
you know?
like
And
you're doing your part.
right. My due diligence.
Yeah.
Yeah. For mankind. But I also like I grew up playing sports and I was a tomboy,
Yeah.
so I felt like, I would like teach my son how to work out and
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
how to be a man,
Yeah.
but still soft.
Yeah.
Right? Because like I'd be close with him. And like not that I'm like a soft chick, but I'm still a woman.
Yeah.
So like hopefully I'd give him
like,
some heart.
you would teach him how to treat women.
Yeah. But
I know.
that's a good segue though. So like, did you always know you wanted to have kids young?
Yeah. Like, okay, so I got married young. I didn't think I was going to get married as young as I was.
Yeah.
But Eric and I were together for 5 years. 5 years, yeah. So we started dating when we were 18.
Yeah.
17, turning 18. And then we got married. When we got married, I was 23.
Right.
So,
but like you knew from like a young
I
girl
wanted to, yeah, like I wanted to have kids. Like I looked at my mom and I was like, she had me when she was 28.
Yep.
28.
Yep.
I'm like, that's exactly what I want. And actually my cousin and I, like, we're 4 months apart.
Right.
That's all we ever talked about was like, this is how many kids we want and this is when we want them. Like,
so I was like abnormal in that sense because I was not into kids. Like I remember being always. So like I remember being young and there would be like little kids brought around me and I was like, ew, they're gross, they're annoying.
Yeah.
Like why is that baby crying? Ew.
Yeah.
And so I was like never into babies and I never thought babies were cute.
Yeah.
I didn't want kids for the longest time.
I was always very maternal.
Yeah.
Every time, like even in high school, people would be like, Lay's like the mom of the group.
Right. Well, I get that though. I am the mom of the group.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely maternal. I don't know what it was. And everyone's like, it's different when it's your kid. I don't.
For sure. Oh, of course, because literally, like psychologically and physiologically, it changes.
Right.
It changes you.
Right.
Yeah.
But like, even in my relationships, like I thought I would have gotten married. So for our audience who doesn't know, I'm not married. I've never been married. I always thought I would get married, but a family wasn't anything that I really wanted. But I wasn't against like the 2 long-term relationships I was in. They both wanted kids, and I would have had a kid, like for sure.
Yeah. So like, did you just use birth control?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you were on birth. Yeah, you were on birth control for that long.
Yeah. 23 years, right? And so like.
I stopped. Like when Eric and I started dating, actually, I think I was off of birth control. I was only on birth control for like a couple years.
Which is so crazy. I mean, it's better for you. That's good for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I always thought if I had kids, it would be later. Like I had to talk with my doctor. I did all the fertility stuff so that my ex and I could kind of plan it because it was like I'd have to come off the pill, and then we wanted to make sure that I was still within a certain age. To do it, right? So we wouldn't run into any like health issues and stuff like that. But like we both wanted to get our feet kind of set in our careers and financially before we had a kid. And he was the one who wanted a family. He came from a big family. So it was one of those things where it was like
it was like a pressure.
It was compromise. Like it's not just me in the relationship.
Yeah.
He wanted a family and he wanted a child. And I know I would have been a great mom. It's just, I never thought about the timing of it per se. And now here I am at 40. And like we've talked about this, have I missed the boat on it or not? I don't know if I have. I know you can have a baby, but like, do I want to be this age of a mom?
Yeah. I mean, you see, so like obviously it's not our reality and it's not always realistic, but like all of these, you see all these stories and all these celebrities having babies in their 40s, 50s.
Yeah.
Right. And with or without partners or adopting or whatever.
Which my mom's talked to me about.
Yeah. It just depends on what your goals are. Like I have a family friend that doesn't have a partner and she has a career and everything. And she's always wanted to have a baby and she's doing it on her own.
Yeah, my mom.
She went through like I don't know how she did it, but I'm assuming it was IVF. And now she's having a baby, and amazing.
My mom talked to me about it, right? Like doing like what is it called? Freezing my eggs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it was an option. Like we looked into it and the cost of it and all of that.
Yeah.
It's hard on your body though to
cheap.
do
Yeah.
because like you're still doing all the hormones to harvest the eggs.
Oh yeah.
Like I did my research. It's not cheap.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know if I wanted to go through all that by myself. And like, could I have a baby on my own? Sure, I could.
Mm-hmm.
Could I raise the baby and like financially afford it? Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't know if I wanted to do that.
Yeah.
That's the thing though, right? Like I was raised by a single mom and I feel like everyone needs to have a male figure in their life.
Mm-hmm.
So in an ideal world, I just saw it differently. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, like I've said it before, I feel like I'm going to get pregnant by accident, dating, mm-hmm. being off the pill.
I know.
And I don't know what I would do if I did. Truthfully, like if you asked me a few years ago, my answer may be different than it is now. I do not know, and I won't know until I'm ever in that position and I have to make a decision.
Right. Well, I mean, it really takes a village. Like a lot of my family and friends that are my age have children, mm-hmm. and there's so many people. It's not just, you're not just reliant on the mothers or the fathers.
No.
It takes literally a village to raise a kid.
Agree.
And there's so many influences, and there's a lot of influences that you also don't want them to be around too.
Right.
So
yeah,
I mean, there is a double-edged sword, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, definitely.
Yeah. So. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just, I guess if I look back and if timing was different, if things were different, would I have a child now? I don't know. It's really hard to say. The fact is that I don't have one. Mm-hmm. Dating has been interesting too in that respect. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but you know, if a guy wanted a child, I felt like I shouldn't date him. And then everybody in my circle was like, you should not rule that out though, because you might meet somebody.
Yeah, you don't know.
And I don't know.
Yeah.
And it might change my mind.
But like a lot of people don't have, like they want children, but they don't want to get pregnant, and they adopt, and that's beautiful. But like that's an option. The people do that by choice.
For sure.
You know, they don't do it as like the last resort,
right?
Which I don't think it should be the last resort,
right?
But it is commonly the last resort. But if you want it enough, then
totally,
yeah,
right. And like we've talked about in other episodes, I've never really been with a man where I was like, I want his baby.
Yeah.
Like I want him to be my baby daddy, or like that I wanted to marry someone. I haven't even been that close with somebody yet where I'm just like, I want to marry this person and be with them forever.
Which is wild, Natalie, because you were with someone for 15 years. What were you doing even?
I don't know.
Were you just comfy?
I don't know. I mean, I think I'm confusing even people now with dating, because people are just like, are you just dating to date? And I was like, kinda. Like I'm just like trying to catch up for lost time and learn about myself. Like I don't want the first person to be like, will you marry me?
Yeah.
Like I want to be really, really, really sure when I settle down next time. And I think the only way to be sure is to kiss a lot of frogs.
Yeah.
Right?
That gets salty though.
Yeah, I have to still fill you in on all that stuff.
Oh,
off podcast.
That's for next season.
That's for next season. We've got it. We've got another athlete in the mix.
Oh, Jesus. Sorry, Joseph. Oh God, you have like a whole.
I don't even know what I have.
You have like a whole sports team.
I have a whole team.
You have like a mix. You have like a whole Olympic team.
It's like it's not even a roster anymore. I've got a team of all positions. Oh no, it's happening.
Oh Jesus, Mary Joseph. Okay.
Oh my God.
I mean, good luck with that.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, but enough about me.
Okay, more about me. So I,
which you're good at,
which I'm good at.
Yeah.
Okay.
Marsha.
Oh yeah, right. Oh my Lord. Okay, so I'm pregnant.
Oh my gosh, that came out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. Okay, you guys obviously knew that we were going to be sharing some news in this episode.
Yeah, I'm pregnant, guys.
It's not me.
It's not Natalie. I think that might have been a giveaway earlier, but yeah, I'm pregnant finally.
Congratulations.
Thank God. Thank you so much.
So roughly how far along are you right now as we record this?
So I am almost 15 weeks.
And how are you feeling?
I'm feeling not bad. Second trimester has been a lot better. I'm moody as fuck.
That's not new.
I'm moody as fuck, but I'm hungry all the time, but like the nausea's gone. I get kind of tired. Depends on what I'm doing.
For sure.
But like other than that, I'm fine.
Good.
So that's good. So far, so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously still too early to know the sex though, right?
Yes. Yeah, we haven't found out yet, but we will because.
So you want to know?
Yes, I want to know for sure. We both do.
Okay.
It's just like when the information is there,
I know,
like readily available to you, like I'm gonna take the information.
Okay.
And there's been like kind of like in our family, people are like, oh, like don't find out. It's not, you know, like why don't you want a surprise? We were surprised, or whatever. And I'm just like, but it's either you're surprised like at 15 weeks or you're surprised at 40 weeks. So like it's one or the other. Like, and I don't know. I feel like I need to prepare. Like Eric and I are both very like we like to like be prepared for anything. Like so I just want to have control over that.
Are you gonna do like gender neutral nursery?
Most of my stuff is neutral anyway. Like I'm not gonna go overboard with like the super girly stuff or the super like boy stuff. But it just depends. Like I'll have like pops of things, but like I don't know. We'll see. But it's not gonna be like pink threw up all over the room.
Like Pepto-Bismol?
Yeah, no, that's not my vibe anyway.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. So no, it won't be my vibe. But yeah, it's been a journey. It has been. Like we've been struggling. We've been going through like an infertility journey for about, what year is it? 2024. So 3 years.
Okay.
First time that we were like actually trying to get pregnant, we got pregnant.
Okay.
And
that was 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
3 years ago. And I miscarried at 9 weeks. So that like we literally got pregnant first try. And I literally bought a onesie that says easy peasy on it because,
oh my gosh.
And anyway, it was so cute.
So cute.
And then we lost at 9 weeks. So that was super hard, like really, really hard. We took a break for a while, but I already felt like, so 3 years ago I was 29. I already felt like I was behind on my schedule that I made up when I was 10. Literally. Because I wanted to start like when we were quite young, like 25, like 25.
Yeah, no, listen, you've been married a long time, so I actually get it.
Yeah, so I wanted to start trying when I was like 25. Yeah. And it just didn't end up happening, and it's fine. But I knew like my paranoia was that my mom had issues also with her pregnancies, and I didn't like, in hindsight, like you can never, one doesn't relate to the other. Totally. It doesn't matter if my mom went through this. That's not genetic. Yeah. But I was worried that was gonna happen. Right. So it ended up taking us, we had 2 other losses after that. Okay. And then this one was like, it wasn't by fluke because we have been trying, but we just didn't try that hard that month. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And they say that's when it happens.
Yeah. And I was trying, we went to a fertility clinic. We did a few tests and stuff, but never did anything super invasive. Wasn't taking like any hormone shots or like anything like that. But the cycle that I got pregnant, I really looked into Chinese medicine, which was unbelievable. Like it was unreal.
I'm a huge believer in it.
Honestly, the things that you learn, like if you just look away from like traditional, like everything they teach you here is like synthetic, or it's useless. Yeah. So I went for acupuncture, and I met a Chinese medicine doctor, and she was doing it. And she told me that I need to keep my uterus warm.
Right.
Which I was like, what are you talking about? Like, what do you mean by that? And so she told me a bunch of, like, this is so fascinating also to anyone listening. If you want to look into this more, having, like, it just helps so much with your hormones in general.
Mm-hmm.
So keeping your feet warm.
Yep.
Keeping your hands warm. Mm-hmm. Eating or drinking or consuming very warm spices or temperature-wise warm drinks, soups, stuff like that helps keep your internal, which doesn't make sense. Like, you don't think that you're cold inside, but if you're drinking ice water all the time and your feet are freezing and you're not wearing socks in your house and it's, you know, like, so that was really like mind-blowing to me when I was just reading about it. And then, I mean, obviously they say not to like stress. Like, don't stress about it. Well, I was like peeing on a stick 3 times a day to track my ovulation. Right. Like, it's hard mentally.
Were you doing LH strips?
I was doing LH strips.
Okay.
And
were you doing like basal body temperature like me though too in the morning before bed, or just mostly LH?
I didn't do the basal body temperature because I would just forget.
Well, I feel like people either do one or the other.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's redundant to do both. Because they tell you the same thing pretty much. Like, it's either you're looking at your temperature from when you're ovulating, or you're looking at.
So from doing it for 3 years straight, and like doing the LH strips for almost 3 years straight, they say that the LH strips actually can't tell you if you actually ovulated. Only your basal body temperature will tell you if you actually ovulated. Okay. Because you could have a peak, but it could just be like a coincidence.
Right.
So
that's why basal body is more accurate.
Yeah. I mean, okay. And they tell you, like, they scare the shit out of you saying like you're going to get pregnant.
Oh, I know.
When you're, you know, a teenager, so that you don't obviously go out and have sex and like get STDs and like pregnant. Whatever. It is so hard to get pregnant. So you only have a 25% chance if you do everything right. If you have sex 7 days out of your cycle, like during your ovulation week, you still only have a 25% chance of actually getting pregnant.
Yeah. So like when I take my basal body temperature, and I've been taking it for years for hormones, like when my temperature goes up, I know I'm going to get my period that day. Yeah. Like it's like that accurate. And it's like just a little spike in temperature. Yep. And like I had no clue that it's like 5 days in which you can get pregnant. Yeah. My doctor was like literally like, you don't need to be on the pill. Yeah. You don't need to use contraceptive. Just don't have sex on those.
Just track your ovulation.
And don't have sex on those 5 days. Exactly. And you'll be fine. Yeah. Like it's such a small window. You're so right.
So like, but they don't teach you that. They teach you anatomy, and they teach you how, you know, your menstrual cycle works. Like this is when you get your period, or like whatever, you get your period every 30 days or whatever. But they don't teach you what happens in between.
No, and like let's for the audience too, if they don't know, your fertile window comes after your cycle, after your period.
So it's your cycle, and then you have a week, and then you have the week of ovulation.
Exactly.
And like honestly, the shit that we go through,
I know,
is so fucked. But if you do everything right in that week, you still only have 25% chance of actually conceiving. Right. And then you have a 1 in 4, I think it's even higher. It has to be higher now. 1 in 4 pregnancies, like early pregnancies, end in chemical or a miscarriage.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
1 in 4.
1 in 4.
Wow.
Yeah. So like it doesn't, and like there's sometimes where you won't, like you'll have a chemical pregnancy and you won't know.
Yes.
And like it won't pick up on a pregnancy test.
Right.
But why is my period week late?
Totally.
Because you could have had a chemical pregnancy.
Yeah.
So who knows how many times that's happened?
No kidding.
Honestly, who knows? Yeah. But yeah, so it's been a journey. Yeah. And you know, I tried like the whole Mucinex thing. That was, I don't know if that is any, I think it was that cycle that I took it too. I only took it 2 cycles. I think I took it that cycle too.
Okay.
So that increases like your like cervical mucus.
Yep.
And like makes things like flow better.
Yep. I know. I've
yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's just I attribute all of these things that I did leading up to it, but like literally it's just God's timing.
Totally.
And like the timing, when I remember it was like the day after I got pregnant, or like saw that I was pregnant, I was like, oh my God, the timing of this could not have been better.
Okay, but like, two things. First of all, I need to clarify. So this
Okay.
is your 4th pregnancy?
This is the 4th pregnancy.
Okay, I just wanted to clear that up.
Yeah.
Second of all, okay, the wedding that you came as my +1 to,
Yeah.
that was June 9th. Okay,
Yeah.
now you and I had a conversation because for all of you who don't know, I have been bothering Layla to go away and do some hit home stuff abroad because I have this crazy vision. And she couldn't go earlier this year. And then she was like, okay, I'm going to try and we're going to go later this year, like this fall in 2024. So she comes and she's my +1 for this wedding. And we're sitting at the wedding and I literally looked at her and I said, okay, like we need to go on this trip because I said, I'm going to get a man and you are going to get pregnant. And this trip is going to be kiboshed. Okay. Yeah. Little did we know.
And like, can we just say too, this was a dry wedding.
This was a dry wedding.
Which is hilarious. Yeah. Because so I would have had just.
But hold up though. So a week later, 1 week later after the wedding.
Yeah.
You found out.
I found out
that you were pregnant.
Yeah.
But I said this speaking it like into the future, like I'm gonna get a man and you're gonna get pregnant and this isn't gonna happen. And like you were fucking pregnant,
I was pregnant
at that wedding.
Isn't that fucked?
Yeah, I wish I didn't speak it into truth. I'm selfishly so upset about this baby.
I'm ruining all of Natalie's plans. It'll be fine. We can just like plan things with the baby.
Right. On your teeth.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh my gosh.
But honestly, like it's like the biggest blessing.
Totally, obviously.
And just the timing of it, other than Natalie's plans for us, the timing of it, just like career-wise and like all of that has been perfect.
Yeah.
And then you kind of like, because they always say like, you always ask God, like, why did you stop this from happening?
Right.
And why didn't I get to do this?
Yeah.
And why did I leave this place and go to this place?
Yeah.
But then when you look in hindsight, you're like, that's exactly why.
I know.
And everything just like works out perfectly.
Totally.
So
I believe in that too.
It's just, it's been a ride. Yeah. It's been nuts. Yeah. The first trimester is not for the weak.
So when are you due?
February 27th.
It's going to be here before we know it.
Oh yeah, it's already September.
So crazy.
Holidays, and then I have, it's 10 weeks after Christmas.
Right, exactly. And that's assuming you don't go early.
Yeah. Yeah. And then again, then I think about my mom, right? Because my mom had a miscarriage before me. And then she had me. And then she had my sister, Hannah. And she was born at 24 weeks. And she ended up passing. And then I don't know if she had another miscarriage after that, but then she had my sister, Maya, but she had Maya at 28 weeks.
Right.
So Maya was super preemie.
Right. My sister was preemie. We talked about that.
Yeah.
Right.
So like that.
You were full term though?
No, I was a month early.
Okay.
So that's always in the back of my mind too.
For sure.
Right. So
just keep that oven warm.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
My fuzzy socks on.
Fuzzy socks.
Yeah.
Drink things that are warm.
Yeah.
Eat things that are warm.
Keeping the legs closed.
Totally. Totally.
Yeah, but I'm excited. It's going to be a fun new chapter, I think.
Yeah.
And it'll be,
And adapting to motherhood is different for everybody, but there is an adaptation.
Oh, for sure.
There's like no doubt, right?
Yeah.
It's like it's a new version of you, and
yeah, it'll be interesting.
Definitely.
Yeah. But I'm like, I feel bad for Eric because I've just been such a bitch this entire time. Like I have been. I feel bad because he's just been so nice. Like he's been so like supportive and like I literally almost cried during my first trimester. The first time I almost cried, like unwarranted cried, like you should not be crying,
right,
was because I really wanted movie theater popcorn. I'm not kidding. It was really bad. Like I was like, oh my God, am I actually gonna? And I'm like this, right? Like I'm like hiding my face on the other side of the couch and I'm like, oh my God, am I actually going to start crying over this?
Stop.
And then I'm like looking over at him, like, is he going to get me popcorn?
Did he get it?
And he got me popcorn. And it was just so nice.
So he actually went and got it. You guys didn't get it delivered?
No, yeah, we got it delivered. But it was,
but he bought it.
He ordered it.
He ordered it.
Yeah. Like as if it's not coming from the same place.
Happy wife.
But
happy wife.
but really, I was like, he's been great. He's been very like, yeah, like if I ask him to do something, he'll do it and like whatever. But I've just been so mean to him.
Is he excited?
Yeah, he is. He's nervous.
Yeah.
Just because like of like what's happened in the past, but he's getting there. He's getting there. He's turning a new leaf, I think.
Yeah.
Coming into the second trimester.
And even without any issues or like previous trauma, I feel like it's not an actuality for men until the day of birth.
Yeah.
Because the woman's going through all the changes with her body, but like it doesn't really kick in for a man until they see the baby.
Because it doesn't change anything.
It doesn't.
It doesn't change anything at all.
No.
And we've had that conversation.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm chilling. I'm like,
totally.
Yeah, fuck you.
Exactly.
But yeah, his life doesn't change until the baby comes.
That's right.
So, yeah, he's excited. I think once we find out what we're having, I think it'll feel a little bit more real.
Yeah.
For him.
For sure.
But he's nervous about it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He's nervous. So yeah, soon we'll find out.
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is there anything else that you would want to share with our audience, like about your journey in general over the last 3 years?
Yeah, I just so being like going through infertility, like unexplained infertility, is it's obviously very frustrating. I remember all of my friends and all of my family that's my age, everyone has kids.
Right.
I actually have friends that have kids that I didn't think were gonna have kids.
Right.
Like, so all of them have kids and they're like 2, 3, 4, 5. And it feels really lonely, although I love them like they're my kids so much. Like I love them. And I remember being so happy for them that they were having their children, but like also like I felt heartbreak for myself.
Right.
And it's just like such a lonely journey. It can be a lonely journey because people don't really understand it unless you're going through it.
And a lot of people don't want to talk about it.
And you don't also want to seem selfish.
Right.
Right. I remember actually last year, the girls, we have a Christmas dinner every year. And
like friends, family?
Just us 4 girls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like they've been my friends for forever.
Okay.
And they all have kids. And they're like, let's bring the kids this time. Right. And I was like, guys, like, and I was like, okay, I was fine with it. And then it was like the week before and I'm like, I'm going to feel so left out.
Right.
And like, I was really upset talking about it, like, and telling them, cause like, I just felt, I'm going to cry. Oh my God, I'm actually going to cry. These are hormones. I've already dealt with this. But I was like, I'm going to feel really left out.
Right.
So like, and obviously like, I didn't expect them to be like, oh my God, like, let's not bring the kids because Layla doesn't have a kid.
And they're not thinking that.
They're definitely not thinking that because I love those kids like they're my own. But like, oh my God, I have to stop crying because, oh my God, I can't. Anyway, so that it's really hard to like, anyone who's going through infertility, like just, and it doesn't really matter what your faith is or anything.
Yeah.
But my faith really helped me.
Of course.
And just trust in the timing, and that's it. And when you let go, that's why they say to stop stressing and stop doing the most. Yeah. Because that's just a form of you letting go.
That's right.
And letting just like whatever's meant to happen, happen.
Yep.
Because there's only, you can't control it.
You can't.
Like even when you miscarry, there's nothing that you could have done that.
But again, a lot of women will think
they blame
it's their
themselves.
fault.
Well, my mom, I remember my mom won't let me lift anything over 10 pounds.
Right.
And she's like, Layla, like I miscarried. I was holding a pot of corn with water in it, like a huge pot. We were having a big family thing. And I was holding a big pot and then I started bleeding. I was like, Mom, like, and that's her trauma,
that's
right? But I think she blames herself for that.
For sure.
So like, even when I told my dad I was pregnant, he's like, you should be sitting down the entire time. Don't do anything. Every time he calls me, he's like, are you sitting down?
Right.
And I'm like, guys, like, you know, I can't.
You can't live life like that.
I can't live my life like that. And again, it's their trauma and they're just looking out for me. But I don't.
But it is easy to project.
It is, for sure, because you just want to also protect them, right? But yeah, my mom's super paranoid because I think she feels like she caused that, and you can't cause a miscarriage.
No,
you really can't.
No.
But even if you did the most, like you smoke, you drink, you do crack, like you're still gonna have a baby. That baby could be fucked up.
Totally.
But like if you miscarry, it's because of something chemically.
And even when I was talking with my doctor and trying to plan, like if I was going to have a baby with my ex or not, and trying to time it as best as we could because I was older.
Yeah.
You know, they say it's safe. Like I work out every day and I lift weights, and they were like, as long as your body is accustomed to that, you can continue. And like so many people are like, you're crazy. You're still going to do those things. I'm like, yeah. Because
no,
my
it's
body
better for your body to do that.
Right, exactly, than opposed to stopping. But everyone's gonna have their own opinion.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Like one of the first times I went to a gym, there was like a 8-month pregnant woman beside me sprinting on the treadmill. I was like, I'm never coming to the gym again. Like,
stop.
I'm like, the fuck is this? Never again. But yeah. Anyway, it's been a ride. And I'm just very thankful and grateful. And like, I just like, thank God every day.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But it is hard because like your anxiety, having previous losses, I'm sure even not having previous losses, you're probably anxious too. But every time, like during my first trimester, every couple of weeks I would spot.
Yeah.
And no one talks about that.
I know.
Number one.
Yeah.
No one talks about it.
Yeah.
And no one tells you that it could be normal.
Yes.
Because the flip side of that is that you're miscarrying.
Right.
Right? So like, I don't know. I don't know.
And can we say like I've known from like day one that you were pregnant.
Yeah.
And obviously I haven't told anybody. Yeah. So like we spend a lot of time together, obviously. There's times we don't talk every day, but like I've kind of been through all the stages. Like I knew when you were spotting and like you would come to my house the morning you were spotting.
Yeah.
And like
it's there's a lot of paranoia. Yeah. So like that was one thing that like I was like, okay, like it's okay, it's fine. And there's different reasons why you can spot, but it's just your body changing.
Yeah.
But that's like very anxiety inducing.
Totally.
Because you just like, that's just like, it's trauma, right?
Yeah.
But it's scary because all you want to do is like protect it.
For sure.
And you want to do everything you can, but you know, everything's just meant to work out the way it's meant to work out. Agreed. But yeah, it was funny because when I told you, when did I tell you?
Well, I knew
it would have been that week.
No, it was right after the wedding. So the wedding was June 9th, and I
found out.
You told me the week after when you found out.
So I found out. So there was Father's Day, so that was the Sunday, and then the 16th,
and then you came to my house on the Monday to record.
No. Anyway, yeah.
It was that week though.
It was that week though, yeah.
And you told me in my kitchen. I was at my sink.
Yeah.
And you were like at the hallway.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was so funny.
And I was like, you're lying. Yeah. You totally got me.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. And she was mad that I didn't record her reaction.
I know. I wanted to record it for the podcast. It would have been so good.
I know it would have been. But yeah, it was funny the way that I found out though, because like we were like drinking on Father's Day with my father-in-law, and then we came home, and I was like, did I take a test that night? Yeah, I took a test that night and it was negative. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then I was...
And let's just like clear it up for the audience though.
Mm-hmm.
So was that because you were due for your period? You were late?
So I wasn't late yet.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Because it was super early.
I was just like a psycho tester.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Like the amount of tests that I had,
you would like get them on Amazon and both?
You would laugh, yeah.
Yeah, no, I know someone else who does too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I tested that night.
I've never bought a pregnancy test.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Ever in my life.
That's insane.
Never peed
like,
on a stick.
Not even like just because you were scared?
No, I make sure that nothing happens.
Yeah, but you can still get pregnant on birth control.
But I didn't.
I know.
And I always got my period. I never thought I was pregnant.
Like one of my good friends got pregnant while she had an IUD.
I know, you told me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I tested.
Yeah.
Negative. That was the Sunday. And then the Monday, I was like, it was like the afternoon, and I was like laying on my couch, and I'm like just watching TV. I'm like, I could fall asleep right now, and I'm like, that's weird. I never fall asleep around like 4 o'clock. That's weird. Like I'm not really like a big napper.
Yeah,
like
me either. I don't.
I'm very like usually very productive during the day, and I was just like, oh, that's weird. And then I don't know what it was that was in my head, but like I was like, when is my period coming? Because I don't know where I was, and I couldn't remember where I was in my cycle.
Yeah.
And I was just like, when is it supposed to come? So I opened my app. I was supposed to get my period Wednesday, and I was like,
so both Lay and I like track all of our stuff in an app, just so you guys know.
Yeah, okay. I have to. Like,
yeah, me too.
In the cycle. So yeah, I have to plan my life around it.
Yeah.
Like I have to let people know, like that week I'm not gonna feel that great.
Right.
So no.
Yeah.
Anyway, so so I look and I'm like, I'm supposed to get my period on Wednesday. And I feel no PMS symptoms at all. Like nothing. Zero. And usually I'm a fucking raging bitch.
Right.
My boobs hurt. I get really bad cramps. Yep. My back ache, headache, everything.
Yep.
Nothing. Zero. Other than me almost falling asleep in the middle of the afternoon.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm going to go take a test. This is at like, I'm going to say this is at like 4:15. Okay. Go take a test and think nothing of it, like really. Then I go back in, it's positive. And I was freaking out, like freaking. I'm home by myself, freaking out. My dogs are freaking out. They're following me around the house. I'm like running around the house and I'm like, oh my God. And then I call Eric and I'm like, are you coming home? Like, when are you coming home? I don't understand. And usually Mondays are his like longest days.
Okay. And
I'm like, please just come home. Like, can you come home? I started cooking early, like dinner's almost ready. Like, just come home. And he's like procrastinating. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna lose my shit. Cause I don't want to tell him over the phone. So then he came home. He's like, okay, gotta go to the bathroom. I was like, fuck, dick. I'm like, hurry up. And then so he comes out of the bathroom. I'm literally standing like right outside the door. And he's like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm pregnant. And he's like, oh my God. And he's like, really? I was like, yeah. He's like, loser. And then he just, you loser. I was like, oh, okay, well, yeah. And then so, yeah.
Then you tested every day though?
Every day for like.
I remember and you were watching the color change.
Yeah. So I was doing the line progression. Yeah. And then until I finally got like what they call a dye stealer.
Yep.
But like.
Do you want to tell people what that is?
Yeah. So it's when your test line is darker than your control line. Okay. So you have 2 lines, right? And yeah, so I tested every day.
And for how many days did you test?
Oh, a long time.
Because I remember you sent me a picture.
Probably 3 weeks.
Yeah, you sent me a picture of like all of them, I remember.
That probably wasn't even all of them.
Probably not.
Because I've been going through all of my stuff and like getting rid of stuff. And I have 2 of like the, what are they called? What are the tests that you buy from the shoppers?
The pregnancy test?
Yeah, but anyway, the actual brand name. Anyway,
the ones that are on the commercial.
Yeah. What's the commercial?
I know. I can't even think of it.
I could recite the whole commercial.
I know. I can see it in my head.
Yeah.
It's First response. Like, it's the accurate one.
Knowing you're pregnant the moment it happens. Anyway,